Deportation Nation, Trump's shock and deport rollout. Hello, tonight on Oliver's Opinion, if you're undocumented, overstayed a visa, accidentally signed up for a yoga class with the wrong paperwork, or just made eye contact with ICE, congratulations, you might be deported. Because we're diving into Trump's 2025 immigration policy, a plan so sweeping, so chaotic, and so legally questionable, it makes Build the Wall look like a cute DIY Pinterest project. Act 1. Tariffs and Tantrums, the Colombia showdown. Let's start back in January, when Trump said to Colombia, "Take back your deportees or I'll slap you with tariffs and revoke your visas." Because nothing says diplomatic finesse like yelling, "Take your people or no more spring break." Colombia caved. Why? Because apparently economic extortion is still cheaper than dealing with Trump on Zoom. Act 2. The Alien Enemies Act, brought to you by the year 1798. Ah yes, the Alien Enemies Act. A dusty piece of legal parchment designed to deal with actual wartime enemies, now revived by Trump like it's a rebooted 90s sitcom called Deportation and Disorder. He used it to deport over 200 Venezuelans to El Salvador's infamous COT prison. You know, that facility where even the cockroaches have PTSD. Many had no criminal records, just the wrong tattoos, the wrong name, or the misfortune of existing during a Trump presidency. Act 3. Kidnapping by government, but make it domestic. Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia, a legal Maryland resident, was mistakenly deported and imprisoned in El Salvador. The Supreme Court said, "Fix it." El Salvador said, "Nah." Trump's response? Shrugs in executive order. This is like Amazon shipping the wrong item, then saying, "Sorry, we've already jailed your order." Act 4. The criminal contempt tour. A federal judge found cause to hold Trump officials in criminal contempt for ignoring deportation halts. Because when the courts say stop, Trump's ICE says, "Yeah, but what if we didn't?" The administration ran deportation flights while the ink on legal blocks was still drying, proving once again that in Trump's world, the only due process is Mountain Dew and more process. Act 5. Deported, Detained, and Democracy Derailed. They deported a Venezuelan dad in Indiana before he saw a judge, a mom of US citizen kids to Honduras, a German tourist, a British graphic artist, a French scientist, and probably a guy who just came here to buy snacks at Costco. They deported activists, students, and at least a dozen US citizens, which is weird because I thought deporting citizens was what other countries did when their elections went poorly. Act 6. Whole of government, half a brain. Trump expanded immigration enforcement to the post office because nothing says efficient border enforcement like asking your mail carrier if Juan is still living at 214B. Meanwhile, 6,000 immigrants were falsely marked as deceased in a social security database. I guess ICE figured dead or deported, same difference. Act 7. The math doesn't math. Trump boasted about deporting 142,000 criminals. Actual number? About 57,000. So unless ICE also deported the concept of honesty, someone's cooking the numbers harder than a meth lab on Breaking Bad. Act 8. Shock and awe and lawsuits. The whole campaign was led by the ghost of Christmas cruelty, Stephen Miller. But dozens of judges, even Trump-appointed ones, struck back. They ruled the policies lawless, inhumane, and possibly written on the back of a Burger King napkin. Act 9. Children in Cages. Sequel. Nobody asked for 3 US citizen kids deported. A 2-year-old stuck in ICE custody. Mothers forced onto planes mid-appeal, all in the name of speed. Trump's plan was clear. Deport now, litigate later, and if a toddler cries, blame Biden for giving them emotions. So where are we now? Trump's trying to deport faster, cheaper, and with fewer rights than a Disney fast pass to authoritarianism. He's turning every agency into a deportation squad, using 18th century laws and redefining criminal as someone who maybe jaywalked once in Caracas. And the courts, they're tired. The activists, they're furious. And the Statue of Liberty, she's booking a one-way ticket to Canada. Until next time, I'm Oliver, and if you hear a knock at the door, make sure it's just the pizza guy, not ICE asking why your roommate speaks Spanish. Good night.
I made a big old promise, said I'd fix the price of gas. Told you eggs would be cheaper, but now you're crying at the checkout fast. Said I'd be the best, folks, believe me, it's true. Now you're selling your furniture just to buy some stew. Yeah! Ooh, what happened to that? Ooh, I did that. Well, I did that. Groceries high as a cat in a hat. You thought I'd save your cash, but now your bank account is trash. Oh, I did that. You did that. Oh, no. Remember when I told you gas will be so cheap? Now you're crying at the station, filling up ain't neat. A carton of eggs, forget about those. Better start investing in some backyard crows. Get a chicken, we blame the Fed, blame the Dems, blame the media too. Blame Hunter, blame windmills, what else can I do? I take no responsibility, that ain't my style. Now let's all pretend this didn't happen for a while. Call, get a chicken. Ooh, well, I did that. Economy's flat like a popped air match. You thought I'd bring relief, now you're cutting coupons like a thief. Oh, I did that. Yeah, he did that. Ooh, Listen, folks, listen. I never said prices would drop. I just said eventually, maybe by 2053. And hey, windmills, folks, you know they're to blame, right? Windmills and Nancy Pelosi. That means he ain't got one. Ooh, Listen, folks, listen. I never said prices would drop. I just said eventually, maybe by 2053. And hey, windmills, folks, you know they're to blame, right? Windmills and Nancy Pelosi. So if you're feeling hopeless, if your wallet is tight, just re-elect me, baby, and I'll make things right. Sure, last time I failed, but let's not dwell, 'cause this time my plan is, that means he ain't got one. Some say it's the markets, some say it's a trend. I say just trust me, 'cause I'm your best